for the last couple of seasons, last couple of weeks. Antoine Dupont, Romain Tamac, to say the least, in order to move both, need those minutes. So this is absolutely key. 1 week at a time, let's build this. 3 home games, it's the year for France.
Decision making should be critical as well. 2 young captains here without inside a pretty pair of eyes and what could be a pretty wet day with a slippery ball. James.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think that you say, Jill, conditions will dictate a lot in the game, you feel, but yeah, I just feel France will have far too much for Italy, particularly up front as we just spoken about.
Well, we've seen wins for Ireland and Scotland in the opening weekend of the Guinness Six Nations. Will France or Italy follow suit this afternoon? Let's join Ben Kane, Danielle Waterman and Nick Mullins to find out.
Thank you, Jill. Afternoon, everybody. France and Italy will have enjoyed watching events unfold in Dublin and Edinburgh yesterday while waiting, I guess, impatiently for their go. And here we are, inside the Stade de France in the northern suburbs of Paris, soaring concrete and steel music box, welcoming the Six Nations back as well.
Yes, we're in Paris. We're in Paris for the Six Nations. This is France and Italy. Guinness Six Nations. France opening weekend. All Six Nations have been called. The final game of first opening weekend. We're back next weekend. We're the final game this weekend. It's France versus Italy.
Reflecting a nation's mood. What do Italy have to say about that?
Can't see this unfold.
Championship that once more will offer its support to the ideal that rugby union remains very much a sport we can all enjoy in big days like this and every other day.
No racist is false. We're not sure it is false.
Interestingly,
this is the ground line this afternoon.
Staying in the huddle. I don't know whether they're going to stand in line for the anthem. They stay in the huddle. Before the rugby. Now the French move into line for the rugby. Some offering.
Backwater Italy national anthem.
special beginner Six Nations on ITV is sponsored by That's the Way, Motorway, the site to sell your car.
This is about you and you know.
Odd peculiarity about rugby that the home team changes script when there's a clash, so Italy and that man, Nicola Canoni in blue. Canoni, the man with his tears glistening in his eyes under the lights during the anthems. So much emotion. And Mike Adamson, Scotland's first ever Six Nations referee for 20 years last season, is in charge. And it's France, and it's Italy, and we're ready.
We're underway then. We're going. France. It's France. France versus Italy. We're underway then.
First job for Antoine de Dupont to pass to his mate Romain Tamac.
We're underway then.
Clearance. Danielle Waterman and Ben Kay are sitting alongside, enjoying all of this.
Fantastic atmosphere within the stadium. Just think that France don't want to get overexcited too early. We saw that good clearance. Playing the percentages early on, just waiting to build themselves into the game and maybe try and force an error from Italy at this first line out.
There's definitely all eyes on France being the entertainers of this tournament, but like you say, Ben, the basics is a platform that they need to build from.
Italy was the first opportunity to build form in hand of the powerful Juan Ignacio Brett. Almost fighting his way from the 10-metre line, but possession spilt, and France have it, and Jonathan Danty flying in to help secure possession. For the scrum half, Gal Biku, adding his lengthy limbs as well. This will come down with the red drops, and it's an early test for the winger Monty Ioane. And the other half of Paris with him at the same time. He did well to shuffle it back. Danilo Fischetti for the first penalty. France offside.
Well,
You just see France quite heavily attacking the breakdown. Italy, really heard about them trying to change their style and develop their own style. I think they're going to want to move away from the traditional old Italian focus of forward big carriers trying to bust the line, because it's just not going to work in this day and age. And maybe they'll try and play a little bit more, get the offloading game going, but that leaves you more isolated at the breakdown, and immediately France will attack that area.
Italy tried to play a possession game in last year's championship, Nolly. They kicked the ball away less than any other team. Only Ireland passed it more. We're going to see.
yeah, but they didn't get over the game line very much, so it makes it pretty difficult if you're constantly passing the ball backwards and not making inroads into solid defences.
Italy in the blue. One last reminder for those of you late switching on and the tumbling Melvin Chamonix, France's fullback, these days, his Six Nations debut. Willy Antonio. First stomping drive forward. Okay. Julien Marchand with the extra cushion for Dupont. Interesting to see how Dupont goes. Dupont
It
one of
hasn't
those
been
who
able to keep
contracted
us
COVID
track
before
of
the training
track
camp.
of it. It's really
Romain
good
Tamac as well,
information. That's what we're going to do.
making their way back. They both played for Toulouse last weekend, as this is at an entirely different level. Aldrich, the La Rochelle number 8, takes it on, as does now Waukee. So much hope and expectation surrounding Cameron Waukee. Tamac pops it up for Antonio. Italy offside. Over the line, too eager in defence. And this is Gavin Villiers coming in off the wing.
Very interesting to see there that initial kick that started that play from Antoine Dupont. He's maybe expecting to put up the high box kick, get players underneath competing, but he didn't. He put it right over the top, the head of Monty Ioane. He made him turn, and if you are a team that likes to counter-attack, and Ioane really does like to do that, have him running away from the defenders with his back to them so that he has to
Chamonix with his first ever points in this Grand Old Championship in the Six Nations. Touch between the posts. Best part of 5 minutes played in Paris. France 3, Italy 0.
4 minutes played here in Paris. France 3, Italy 0. We just played 5 minutes. France leads 3 points against Italy after 5 minutes here in Paris from start. 1 star from France in the lead there.
It's a nicely judged restart from Garvisi, one that Italy could compete for, but Aldridge generally underneath those balls is as safe as houses, and he was just there. That, however, less comfortable for Italy's fly half. Been playing well this season, so well that he's actually keeping the World Cup winner, the Springbok, Andre Pollard, out of Montpellier's starting 15, but that was a devil of a ball to have to deal with.
He's going back to it. Maybe slightly easier than Karen Dickey's yesterday when he was backtracking, but really, Garvisi should have turned his body there so that if he drops it, it falls on the right side and goes backwards, but he got his body right behind it. It was always going to be a knock on a key attacking position for France.
And I think that he was also in the wrong position because expecting France to kick from that left-hand side of the field, they shifted it to the middle. They used that big wider option, which meant he was completely out of position. And like I say, a pretty decent place for France to end up from a restart.
But a scrum. Probably learned more about axial loading than you ever thought you would need to yesterday. For the benefit of those who weren't watching, I can't imagine there were many of you, but we will go through it one more time and bring up our old friend at Breakfoot over the next few minutes. Anyway, let's just enjoy this scrum for the time being. That is low and strong from France. Goodness me, Heine Board low, providing the perfect platform for Damian Penaud to launch for the first time, and Tumac kicked through from Biku. Options here. Oof, not quite gathered by Villiers, but off first base possession, purposeful.
Frightening, the options that they've got, and the defending.
That was quite an epic.
When you've got Penaud,
Chance quite to me, and it's just like a chance. We couldn't do so. France was really getting on a counter-attack, so we can't do much about it today now.
And they get the
That's really
kicking behind. We saw a lot of that yesterday, particularly in these positions. Try and catch a player turning with your man running at full tilt. Getting very close to France's first score.
We've got a water boy in the middle of the scrum. This is strictly legal, so he makes his way back onto the sideline. Strong for Italy.
Look at it. The France are really showing they appreciate it with waving against flag. Here we go again. We're going to try and get ball. We're going to do it. No, we won't again.
Just about get away with it, Italy.
Well, it is trying to get away with it.
Tidy up what was untidy ball.
But what is it?
Gianmarco
It's the big.
a whole bunch of players who belong to the Benetton Treviso club.
Here they come again. We're going to push forward.
Kept his eye on the ball despite not
We're
having
going
traffic.
to push forward.
His ninja like, wasn't he? Dropped for his million drops over.
We're really going to push forward. Here they come. On the counter-attack again.
Dupont.
Here they come.
Johnson offers a different type of threat in midfield. Whips away.
Here they come.
Cleared high by Tumac. Another
Look at it. Here we go. Boy, to try and get the ball, boy. You're unlucky there. Trying to get the ball.
comes down with possession despite the best efforts of Biku.
Oh, this is lucky, man.
Brilliant take from Padovani in the back. And it's interesting to see how France are trying to challenge the Italian defence. First phase, they're looking to hit up and move it to the edge. Then they're putting it to the air. Just seeing the replay of the take from Villiers.
today.
Wasted high, gathered by
They're coming down, they're pushing forward, coming to the doing. They're pushing. Look at this! Is it doing it seven? And here it comes! Oh god. They were so close, they just had to go a little further and get a flag. It's really doing it but 3 more, trying to get it level.
Hit round the corner, and then they win every collision, and it's just the pick-up for Varney. Maybe a
It's not the
took it
people
away from
wanted.
his hands just as he was trying to gather it.
Well, look at that. Italy was so close to getting past the
Clear
front.
outs were really good, and that last boot there just coming in as he went to lift it.
But
So got a little shot in the back from Villette, but just after it dropped it just to make things even worse.
I think quite a lot of my hand injury came as a scrum half from my own players boot. So I don't know
here they come.
the ball.
I think it's... Look, I'm in a little huddle again. Here we go. Here they come.
shifting across to allow the number 8 Greg Aldrich to control it.
They want to go control.
Cause irreparable fractures in the Italian scrum.
It's good.
Ben Case's watching on back in the studio. Ben, we wondered how conditions would affect things. What are you seeing?
Well, obviously the pouring down rain doesn't make it easy to bring some tempo in the rec area, but also I was telling you that I was a little bit worried about how Antoine Dupont and Romain Zamato clearly need some minutes. They need a bit of rhythm to adapt to international standards. How they're going to be able to add that tempo. So conditions are playing a part in it, and also their ability to get back into match fitness.
On YouTube.
Keep a close eye on that. Julien Marchand to Aldrich.
Here they come. One has gone and has got them.
Takes control of things and once again crowding in field.
Look out, here comes France. Pressing down.
By Garbisi. Marchand. Marchand, incidentally, one of only 2 who did start in the win against New Zealand here in November. The flanker, Dylan Cruttown, the other. Otherwise, a team of the 15 set France on their way to what would become an historic victory. Use it, onside, stay here. Good. Taken by Garbisi. Bother calling for the mark, he's just happy to roll away and reset it. Wasn't gathered clearly.
Oh, yeah.
And Garbisi's little calculated gamble doesn't come off. It'll be a front scrum.
An error, but defensively so strong in terms of getting back, making the tackle. Damien Penaud, as he got back, swung his legs round after he made the tackle, allowed Santi the opportunity to fire in at the ball, and Italy panicking, just release it. There's the tackle, swings his leg round the outside, uses the moisture on the pitch to slide, and then gets back to his feet and assists Santi, making it a 2-man block over the ball, and Italy can't shift the boat. Very narrow first 3 set of players trying to hold Italy close, and then got a little bit of pace in the back 3, the second line in behind.
Barney's doing what he can to put pressure on.
Again.
And
That's
the
what pressure versus trying to do.
Danilo Peschetti, who was putting Winnie Antonio under intolerable pressure in the end. Look at the reason why a scrum collapses very often, Ben, and it's the position of the prop's feet. And if they're a little bit too ambitious sometimes, they think, try and get those feet a little bit too far back, they've got no balance when it starts to go wrong.
You see, he's almost a plank by the end of When you lift one of your feet up, you haven't got that contact with your ground, so props can often get stuck in that position, feeling they can't lift their feet up, otherwise the whole thing's going to go to pot.
And I'm taken at the back by Sebastian Negri. Him to carry the ball and tackle more than most again over the course of this championship. Barney, hoisted high. Test for Chamonix. And it's picked up. And Italy driving forward with loose ball. And Barney sets them off. And here's Halafiti. What a platform. Barney again. Garbisi. Interesting. Oh, more than that brilliant. Tommaso Menoncello on his debut. I'm not sure he touched the ball yet. He has now.
Referee's just going to check that he kept his feet in play before he tosses it down.
Whoa, wow, that was
from the kick.
spectacular.
That's the error.
We have played 17 minutes in Paris, and
Really strong carry
the score. The
The
score is currently Italy lead by 5 more points. France 3. France 3, Italy 5. 3 points to advantage to score. Here in Paris. Interesting finish.
I'm just going to try and pause it at the moment he comes down. The TMO is Brett Cronin are Australian. Officials have been together all week in London. Enjoying being together as a group again face to face rather than over Zoom, which I think will probably be tiring of. And they'll have been practicing moments like this. Now, where are those? Oh, it's that right boot on the line, or
Ooh.
from behind.
yes, this is the best angle.
I think it's the right angle too.
Oh, has he done just enough?
Oh dear.
Try, so we have to see
Okay, so the player has kept his foot in the field of play. I'm just now checking grounding. That is correct.
Oh
That is
dear.
correct. And the ball has been grounded and pressed down. Okay, after that.
Okay.
On his debut, on his tiptoes, Tommaso Menoncello has put Italy ahead in Paris.
What a score from Italy. Reacting to a drop ball. And
Yes!
Garbisi
Italy having fun here in front of the French fans in Paris.
those 5 points.
Italy lead by 5 points to 3 in Paris. Wow. That is unbelievable.
From the left-footed Garbisi.
Over.
Judged it perfectly. Look at this. 18 minutes played.
Yes.
Early days.
18 minutes play. Italy lead by 7 points to 3 after 18 minutes in Paris. Wow.
Crowd here. Now they're trying to raise their troops.
Perfectly. Italy are leading by 7 points to 3 after 18 minutes in Paris. Wow. Perfect. Here comes Italy pressing again.
And that was beyond Halafiti initially. Needed some help, and immediately France in the white were on them.
Perfectly.
He's done well to pull it back.
It also
Their side, Garbisi. Taken by Chamonix, off he goes. He's an absolute wicket from fullback, but he's given a free track, but he wasn't given one there. Timmer. Damian Penaud. Interception try in the final quarter. Here against the All Blacks that sent this place into orbit. Quite in orbit at the moment.
Here it comes.
Like Italy's lead. Somebody Lucchetti. Catching Garbisi. Well, if you hear him crowding, if you are Italy's head coach so far, as he talks about winning eventually winning the bigger battles as the match goes on, Danielle. He'll be absolutely thrilled with what he's seen so far.
Yeah, and I think it's those little things that Garbisi early on didn't make mark, got the turnover, he did then, took his time. Italy have been looked threatening when they've got territory. It's just important to get the ball and keep it.
Taken by Crooker. Barking the instructions. Rising the volume around here. Midway through this first half. And on Cello with the only try so far. Penalty on the way.
Number one, stay next to it. Number one, in the same.
Getty coming in from an offside position. Again, for those of you who don't watch this sport every week, you've got to enter the ball from behind the feet of the hindmost player. Can't come in through the side, and that's the reason for this penalty. Can't take a shortcut.
It's a great thing. They set it up well, France, and you're right, Nick, you can't come in, but if it spins round, you can stay there as long as you don't change your mind. Try and release where you are, grip to go for the ball. You can stay and make a nuisance of yourself, but Italy will want to hit this a little bit harder early on, get it going back.